Get some music on. Why not? Over the audio though. Okay. Yo, what's good, Chad? All right. Wait till some people get in and we'll start this. Hold on, I'm gonna lower this a little bit. Your ass, I'm watching this. What do you mean? Sup, Lillaman Cod? I'm gonna get some more people in. I'm gonna tweet the stream out, and then we'll start it up. As you can see, what we're doing up there, y'all know what we're doing. Y'all know what we're doing, T number 1. I feel like it's probably gonna be close to that, for sure. Alright, let me just tweet this thing out. And I'll explain exactly what we're doing in just a second. Zombies of Spaceland number 1. Dude, I was literally just playing Zombies of Spaceland with my friend for some reason. And then we just stopped. Because he was lagging. And we were like, alright, I give up. Alright, we're good. New setup? No, it's just... It's connected to my... Usually I have my webcam on my monitor when I play Xbox, but since I'm on my PC now, I have it connected to my PC. Because I'll show you real quick. So like, wrong way. So I got the. This is the PC monitor, right? And then that's what I play on for Xbox. So usually it's like this, but now I'm just moving it over here. Just for now. I don't know why there's a weird ass shadow. I don't really know how to fix that. It's like there's a shadow behind me. Tried to like, maybe shine the light on the wall, maybe? Shine the light on me? Like, I don't know. Usually it's not like that bad of a shadow. Oh wait, I gotta move. I know what to do. God, that lamp's hot as hell. Damn. Spaceland top 5. Dude, honestly, I think it's gonna be top 5 for me. Okay, so I'll explain what I'm doing. So of course, you all know I'm trying to do this ranking of every zombies map video, right? And I want it to be as perfect as humanly possible. I don't want to just do what most YouTubers do, where they just sit down and they just throw random maps together and then they get some gameplay and that's it. I want the video to be like well thought out, like gameplay for every map, you know, the number of the map that we're at on the screen, like, yeah, that's how lights work. Have the lights, have like good reasons for why I'm putting each map where it is. So instead of just sitting down and just thinking what maps are my favorite, which I've done that before, but like, I don't know where to move the light, honestly, because usually, here, I'll move this whole thing over. And I'll move this right. It's a weird shadow, though. Like, it shouldn't be that big of a shadow. Whatever, it doesn't matter. No one cares about a shadow, right? Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. All right. Let's get it on. So I need y'all help here because there's some maps where honestly, like, I just feel like I'm gonna like want some assistance on like deciding where it should go. But to be completely honest, I'm not taking your guys' opinions like to heart. You know what I mean? You guys can help me decide my opinion, but at the end of the day, it is still gonna be my list. I'll let you guys know that. All right. So you guys can try to sway me in one way for whatever map, but you know what I mean? All right. So first things first, let's start with Nocturne Totem. Okay, I'll go over the categories. So you guys can see them, right? They're not too hard to see. You can read them. I'm sure you can. 20%. So it all adds up to 100%. That's like what the map is out of, right? 20% of it is replayability. Simple, just replayability. That's, you know, how many times would you play the map? I think that's one of the most important things. That's like, it's just so important because playing maps long term is only going to work if the map is, you know, good enough. And honestly, most of these other things kind of go into replayability, like if the map design is good, if the boss zombies are fun, if the Easter eggs are good, the story's good, all of that will kind of play into replayability, but that's one thing. Next category is items. Now, what I mean by items is wonder weapons, perks, guns, equipment, like all of that. That is in items. And that's 20% as well. 20% is pretty big as well, but I feel like weapons, perks, all that stuff, like how balanced, how fun they are, that has to do with the game as well, because sometimes the guns that are on a map are gonna be whatever guns are in that game. But I think that's really important because it's what you're killing zombies with, you know? Like that's huge. And the wonder weapon is pretty huge too to every map. 10% next up is map design. So that's the map layout itself. It's not the location of the map. The location doesn't matter, it's just the design, the layout. Does it fit well with all sorts of play styles? Or is it, you know, is it not too difficult or not too easy? It's just, you know, in the right where it's supposed to be. That's what I'm trying to say. Where it's supposed to be. Some maps are supposed to be hard. Some maps are supposed to be easier. And as long as the map design's good, that's good. 10% bosses. That's any type of boss zombie, right? So not every map has this, and I'll kind of, you know, cater it for whatever map doesn't have boss zombies, because some don't. But 10% bosses. That is not how hard or easy they are either. Same with map design. It's like, how balanced are they? You know, are they too hard? Then it's going to be lower. Are they too easy? It's going to be lower. If they're just right and they're a good type of challenging, then it's kind of like, it's going to be a little higher. And if they're just plain annoying bosses, it'll be lower as well, you know? Now this one's interesting. Now I have it as Easter eggs. I'm going to change that to Easter eggs / high rounds. And the reason I'm saying that is because not every map has an Easter egg, or like any sort of an Easter egg. And I don't think that's fair to just give a map a 0 just because it doesn't have an Easter egg. So if the map doesn't have an Easter egg, I'm just going to take into account the high rounds. How fun is it? How enjoyable is high rounds? And that's also very subjective, but what are you gonna do? Most maps have Easter eggs though, so it's not that big of a deal. I can just, you know, talk about Easter egg itself. That's also 10%. Next up is story. That's characters, quotes, the plot progression, the cutscenes, all that's in story. Next up is atmosphere for 10%. Atmosphere is the music, the soundtrack, the Easter egg song, the location, the feel of it, the vibes, the ambience. That's all in atmosphere. And then lastly, for 10%, innovation. How innovative was it? How many new items were in it? How many new things were in the map? How did it, you know, change zombies or whatever? That's all there as well. And that makes for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different categories that we are going to be ranking these maps in. So yeah, let's get into it. Let's just start with Nacht und Toten. What do you guys think about Nacht? Let me know what you think about Nacht. I'm gonna do it myself. Let's start with replayability. Okay, for Nacht. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, it's low as hell. Nacht und Toten's replayability is low as hell. Cock, yeah, exactly. It's cock. It's gonna be low. I don't think I can really give it anything too high because it's freaking Nacht. Like, there's nothing to do on it other than run around and train and kill zombies. And I'm sorry, I'm gonna give it a fucking 3. It's a 3 out of 20. Remember, it's out of 20. I'm giving it a 3. There's just nothing there. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't think I give it any higher than that. Pretty boring. It's just boring, yeah. I'm trying to think. Should it even be lower than 3? No, 3 is probably fine because the rounds do go really slow. It's not very replayable. But should it be lower than a 3? And when I'm talking about Nacht, I'm talking about every version, right? So I'm not doing remasters, but I am doing remakes. So if the map was remade, it is being counted. But if it's remastered, it's just that specific like map. So Nacht there, that's not just World of War, that's World of War, BO1 and BO3 all mixed into one, right? Sub Team YouTube. For me, Nacht is one of the only maps that are like doing high rounds on only World of War though. Yeah, only World of War. I agree. I think every other version of Nacht is just worse and worse. I don't like any other version of Nacht. Even World of War, I still don't like it though. But we'll see. Replayability is going to be a 3, right? Now let's talk about items. So items, you got no perks. You got no equipment other than Molotovs. You got Molotovs, right? I think there's Molotovs on there. And then you have World of War or Black Ops 1 or Black Ops 3 guns. There's nothing really special. You get the ray gun and then just the thunder gun on the other 2 versions of it. I love the World of War guns, though. I'm a big fan of the World of War guns. They feel good. They're really gritty, the way they, kill the zombies and shit. I love how they sound. So honestly, the guns in World of War are going to push up that category a lot. Transit 20 out of 20, yep. Flamethrower is super fun. The flamethrower is fun, I agree. I forgot that was even a thing. Items. There's no perks, so that's going to bring it down a little bit. Knocked F. Honestly, yeah. Alright, items. Items, I'm going to give it a... I love the World of War guns. I feel like the World of War guns is enough for it to be higher, but there's no perks. And that's a negative to me. I know it's trying to be a difficult map, but we're going to give it a 13. Let me know if those numbers are too small for you, if I should, like... Here, actually, I'll increase the size of this, so it's easier for you guys to see. There we go. There we go. That's bigger. Now that's nice and big. Okay, map design, right? It's a small-ass map. It's a boring map design, but it has World of War guns. Yeah, but map design. It's a small map. It is boring. I agree. But for what it is, for being the first map, I don't know. Like, I feel like the map design isn't terrible. You start off in the one room, right? And then you have, for the first map, right? Remember, it's the first map. You have the one way you can go up, and then the one way you can go in there. And then you loop back around. So it's just 3 rooms, but... Stop watching Spider-Man 2. You're a champ. I just realized that you can barely see the chat because it's a white background. So I'm just going to delete the comments, because it just looks stupid there. I'm going to move this, but that's not going to work. Actually, wait, could it work? I might be able to do this. Hold up. This could be complete. Actually, nah, that looks stupid. Nah, you guys don't need to see that. You guys can read the chat yourself. I don't need to put the chat on the screen at all points. I like to have the chat on screen, just so people don't have to go into the comments to look at the chat, but honestly, whatever. You guys can see it yourself. The atmosphere outside the map was pretty pleasing and set the mood as soldier. Yeah, I agree. I actually like the atmosphere, so when we get to atmosphere, I'll fight for Blood and Garad. Dude, we're gonna take a while till we get there. I might be here for 4 fucking hours, dude. We're only on Noct, and we're still like 12 minutes in. Fuck. Okay. Map design for Noct. Is the map design for Noct good? I don't know. I can't, because it's the first map. I want to give it a shit just because it's a small map, you know? But it is really tight. I love training in the first room, though. The first room training is actually kind of fun. I'm giving map design a 6. Honestly, there's nothing else I can give it at this point. A 6. Damn 6. Alright. Boss zombies. There's none on Noct. But then what do we say for it, then? Because boss zombies is important to me, right? But there's none in there. So should I just give it a 0? Or should I give it like a... It is the first map with zombies, right? This is the first time we saw zombies. Oh yeah, I agree. I don't ever call a map good just because it's the first one. But I still have to keep that in mind at least a little bit. Not too much though. Like, I would never call it a good map just because it's the first one. But like, I do have to give it some benefit of the doubt in some places. And that's where the innovation category comes in. Let's just hit off innovation. Innovation's a 10. And the reason why is because, yeah, it's the first map. That's exactly what I'm saying. So, being the first map, it's gonna get a 10 out of 10 for innovation because it's the first fucking map. You know what I mean? Let's go backwards because I don't know what to do with bosses yet. Atmosphere. It doesn't have any music other than, actually, it was the first time we heard that round changing music, which it was used multiple times over and over again, but it's not bad. There's an Easter egg song when you get to Black Ops 1's Noct. I don't think there was in World of War. But I like the feel of it, though. It is a spooky-ass map. I'm going to give Atmosphere a 6 out of 10. But, like, you are missing, like, the Mob of the Dead, like, soundtracks, which is whatever. Doesn't the remake on Noct have dogs? I don't think so. No, I don't think it does. I know the Black Ops 1 doesn't. Honestly, Black Ops 3, I haven't played that shit, and I played Black Ops 3 Noct probably like twice, but I don't think it does. I'm pretty sure it doesn't. Story. There was really no story on Noct, but if you look into the lore, there's tiny things about it, but not really much. I know they tried to write Verruct into the story. I know when they first were writing Noct, there was no story, but as they go on to Der Riese, they tried writing some stuff into Noct. But it's really not interesting. There's some music coming from... Yeah, that's in Black Ops 1. So yeah, there is some music, but it's not like a full-on, like, Mob of the Dead level soundtrack is what I'm saying. So it's not like anything too crazy. Story. What should we give that out of 10? Because I don't think there's really just not much story to this map. And I do realize a lot of maps don't have much story, but every map has a little bit of story. Whether you like to think it or not, there is story. Even maps like Town and Bus Depot, they have story to them. I don't know the whole story to those maps, but I know they're some way wrapped around into the story somehow. By the way, if you guys are wondering, there's 50 maps. There's 50 of them. If you count the maps the way I do, there's 50. Perfect number. 51 it says because the one is up here, so there's 50 of them. Yeah, but there was blood on the walls to explain the horror of the building, but never applied the story. There's nothing interesting about it. I'm sorry, too. Like I heard some of it, but it's not like that important to anything that happens later on. And I get it's the first map, but I'm not gonna give it a break there. I gave it a break in innovation. That's where it gets its break, right? So it doesn't have an Easter egg, right? So high rounds. Honestly, they're kind of fun on Noct. On World of War Noct. I kind of do like World of War Noct high rounds. Not too much, though. Not more than doing Easter egg quests on other maps, though. So, with that being said, I'm going to probably give it like a 5. I'm going to give it a 5. Now, bosses. Okay. Yeah, rip Noct. It's getting not a good grade, man. That's just how it is. That's just how it is. Noct is just... It's a plain map. I don't know what else to say. Okay. I'm going to give bosses a 5, and here's why. Although it's not an actual boss zombie, it is the first time we see actual zombies, right? It's the first time we're seeing zombies. So, technically, zombies are a type of zombie. It's just the regular zombies, and it's the first time we're seeing them. So... But they're just zombies, though. There's nothing unique about them. We see them every single map going forward because they're just zombies. So I'll give it a 5. I'll give it a 5. I'll give it a 5. I'll probably do that a lot where I'm like, I don't know what to do with it, so I just give it halfway. If I'm like very one-sided on, or very, what's the word? Not one side or the other, very in between on something, I will give it an in-between spot, which is 5. So Noct gets a score of 50 out of 100. That's ass. Honestly, not terrible, because there are probably some maps that'll be way worse. But that's just a testament to how much I don't think Noct's that great. Verruct. Let's move a little quicker, because I don't want to be here forever. I'll probably end up looking back this and like giving it a look over after the stream, but this won't be my definitive ranking. But we'll try. Okay, Verruct. Replayability. It has a little bit more replayability than Noct just because of the perks. And it's a little bit bigger, so there's more places to train. So I'm going to give it a 5. A little more replayability, just a little bit more, but not much. Items. So what did Verruct add? Nothing really. I have a couple new guns, I think. Like, I think there's 1 or 2 guns that weren't on Noct that were on Verruct. The BO1 version added the Winter's Howl, which was a shitty gun, so... It still has the World of War guns, though, which I do like them a lot. It's basically the same as Noct. I'm going to give it a 13. It's basically the same. It's the World of War guns, which I do like those a lot. I really do enjoy World of War guns. But you don't get a Pack-a-Punch, though. You know what? That's fine, because the map is supposed to be difficult. That's fine. Map design. I'm going to give map design a 9 out of 10. I freaking love how Verruct is designed, because... You get the 2 separate spawn rooms, and they all meet up at the front at the power, and then he opens up the rest. That's a cool-ass design for a map, especially because it's only the 2nd damn map. That's awesome. I really do like the map design. Wait, BO3 of Verruct is a wonder? I didn't know that. But Again, it's not an original Wonder Weapon, to be fair, so it doesn't really matter that much to me. Bosses, and honestly, I like the Thunder Gun more anyways, to be fair. But I really do like map design for Verrückt. Bosses, they did 0. 0 out of 10. 0 out of 10. Because there was no bosses added. You know, you just had the same zombies as Nacht, so. Don't even put a number to put the word ass. That's funny. Okay. High rounds. High rounds. How different were high rounds in Verrückt compared to Nacht? I mean, they kind of have the same strategy. Oh, traps. I didn't think about traps. Yo, what's up, Zazu? I didn't think about traps. You do have traps in Verrückt. So that kind of changes it a little bit. That kind of changes high rounds in Verrückt. But I don't know, man. Where would traps go in one of these lists? Would that be a part of replayability or items? You think items? Should I count traps in the items category? Because items is a big-ass category. You know what? I'm giving items a 14. Just because they added traps. I'll get one more point. I forgot about traps. So I guess Wonder Weapons, perks, weapons, even power-ups I'll count in items. Items is a big-ass category. That's just literally everything. Okay. High rounds a little bit better. A 6. I think at least. Story. They had a little bit more story in Verrückt. They did. But it still wasn't nearly as much as what we get in the future. So I'm just going to give it a 3, man. It didn't start ramping up with the Shi No Numa. An atmosphere. 7. Again, great atmosphere. I love how the map feels and looks, but it doesn't have those Mob of the Dead type soundtracks. So I can't give it that high. Innovation. Innovation. Oh, boys, Winter Hell. Winter Hell was ass, man. That thing is ass. Innovation's gonna be. It did add perks and traps, right? Is that about it? Power, I guess. That's gonna be an 8 for me. That is a pretty innovative map, but not nearly as much as Nacht, because Nacht was the first damn map. Of course, it's gonna be more innovative. So that makes Verrückt a little bit better than Nacht. It's got a 52 instead of a 50. I mean, that's not terrible, right? Shi No Numa. Shi No Numa. So Shi No Numa. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, high rounds is a 10 out of 10. I fucking love high rounds in Shi No Numa. I fucking love it. It's a 10 out of, it's gotta be 10 out of 10. Like, I just, it's just so much fun. That's all I gotta say. Yeah, no, the Verrückt is hella scary with the zombies. Replayability, though. Doesn't have Easter eggs, doesn't have side quests. But the high rounds are fun enough to the point where I feel like the replay value is a lot higher. Right? So, Shi No Numa, out of 20, I think I'm going to give it a... replayability, though. There's no Pack-a-Punch. Yeah, it's quick and easy, the high rounds. That's what I think is good about it. I don't really care too much for the traps on the map, to be honest. I'm going to give it like a 12. Not a 10. You still got to remember, there's no side quests. There's not much to do on the map itself. Items, you still got the World of War stuff. But you have a Wunderwaffe, which is one of the coolest Wonder Weapons ever. So, 17. I'm going to give it a 17 out of 20. I love the World of War guns. That's all I got to say. Map design. I don't like the map design in Shi No Numa. I said I liked Verrückt, but Shi No Numa, I know the only reason I like the high rounds is because it's much easier, but honestly, like, I thought you were switching over to Twitch. Not permanent, no. Twitch, okay, so I'll explain that. For Twitch is where I'm going to do, like, the more casual things. Like, if I'm just playing with my buddies or I just feel like playing some Xbox and I just want to try. I was really just trying out Twitch. So I went over there for a little bit. But for more structured things, like, I don't know, if we do stuff for, like, Zombies for Charity, if we do stuff for, like, reaction type streams or something, if I'm doing like a first attempts on like the new zombie maps whenever they come out, just more structured like things, I'm gonna do them on YouTube just because I know more viewers will be on YouTube, and I know YouTube. I'm more confident in YouTube than I am in Twitch right now. But Twitch, I'll definitely just do it for like when I'm just messing around. I just want to have fun. Have a center and 4 ear chairs. Okay, I'll explain why I don't like that design. Okay, I don't like that design because to me, okay, let me just drink some water first. I'm fucking thirsty. To me, a zombies map should have, it should have a way where you can loop around, right? When you have to buy a door and it leads to nothing on the other side, I know it's unique and different than the other maps, but I don't like that design. A map that did that same design was Dead of the Night, but Dead of the Night did it right because they had the teleporters, or not, they didn't call them teleporters, but whatever they're called, the things that you can purchase, and they bring you back to like another part of the map. That made it not an issue in my opinion, but I don't like how it's designed like that, and then there's a random perk at each location, and the locations are just boring. They're all the same. Like, they all look so similar to one another. Like, if you play Shinomas a lot, maybe you'd be able to tell, but you can't tell me right now. Y'all know exactly what the doctor's quarters look like. What the, I don't even know the names of their locations. I'm trying to think. The only one that like is very like sticks out like a sore thumb is the place with the flogger, because that's obvious. You got the flogger there, but the other places, I don't know. They're just not interesting. The design, the where you're going around, where you're moving, it just feels so samey, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I don't know. I just don't like the design. But do I like it more than Noct though? I think I like it more than Noct. But I don't like it more than Verruckt. Oh shit, my professor's putting grades. I'm gonna have to look at those later. Shit. Okay. Yeah, so let's give map design. I'm gonna give it a 7. Now bosses, they added the dogs. Dogs. World of War dogs were awesome. They were scary as hell. They were hard to kill. I don't know what to give that though. No, I'm going back to map design. I still don't think map design should be that high. Yeah, but okay, maybe Noct shouldn't be that high, because Noct, I definitely like Shinonoma's map design more than Noct, but I think I put Noct too high. Yeah, I definitely don't like Noct more than Shinonoma, but I feel like Shinonoma should be like a 6. I'm gonna move this down to like a. The map is, I don't know. It's the first 4. I don't even care. 4. It's gonna be 4. Move this down to a 6. Monderies. Yeah. Apple Mango used to be my least favorite map, but I played it in holy hell. Dude, honestly, yeah. I've been saying forever, it's a great map. Okay, bosses. Dogs. They're not the coolest bosses we've ever seen, or the most unique, but they're still pretty awesome. I'm gonna give it a 7. They're still pretty awesome. Story. Shinonoma was the first map to have our Ultimus characters, right? So, that's huge. There's some stuff with, like, the Japanese that were going down there, the whole rock. There's some lore behind it that... It didn't get lore heavy until, like, Deriz, really, but... It was still there. Definitely more than Noct and Verruckt. But it wasn't... Not that much importance other than that, I feel like. I see a lot of people saying Shinonoma is the worst World of War map, and I always disagree with that. I think Shinoma's underrated a little bit, but I don't think it's that great. Story. Yeah, the Element 1, yeah, 7. Atmosphere. I like the swampy atmosphere of it. I do. But the problem I have is the whole map feels the same. It's not like very distinct locations. They all feel like you're just in a giant swamp with a cabin in the middle. Like an outpost cabin type thing. And then you got like sheds. I don't like the location that much. I feel like they could have done a swamp a little bit cooler. Music, the Easter egg song's pretty great, but that's not a big portion of it. I do like some like they got like particles and stuff floating around when you walk around. It's a cool looking map. It looks even cooler in BO3. But I don't like it more than the feel of Nocturne Verrucht. I don't like it more than that. I'm gonna give it a 4. It's just there's not enough variety. And innovation, the only thing I really innovated in was the new Wonder Weapon and the Flogger, but that's not a big innovation really. That's just a Flogger. So honestly, I'm gonna give it a 3. Because the new Wonder Weapon, like every map introduces a new Wonder Weapon. Most maps introduce a new Wonder Weapon. So that's not a huge innovation to me adding a new Wonder Weapon. You know what I mean? There was nothing groundbreaking about Shi No Numa, I feel like. I really don't think there was anything groundbreaking about it. Okay, Duriz. We're going on for way too long already, Jesus. Duriz. I didn't think this would take this long, man. We might have to split this up or something because this is going to be way too long. Alright. She innovated. In some ways, yeah, but I just don't think not nearly as much as any of these not any more than some of the other maps. I feel like 3 is even being just having a Wonder Weapon that wasn't the ray gun was like the only thing I can think of, you know. And the story was ramping up a little bit more, the new characters, but I just don't think that's that big to me. Duriz, replayability. Having the Pack-a-Punch was huge. I'm gonna go to innovation right away. Actually, I'm gonna give it a 9 for innovation because the Pack-a-Punch was obviously huge, and the story was ramping up here as well. Story, I'm gonna give. It had a lot of good lore to it. I'm gonna give it a 9. It had a lot of good lore to it. A lot of awesome radios. Now there was technically like a minor Easter egg, but it's not big enough to count in the categories. So, Hirons and Duriz, not as good as Shi No Numa. I'm gonna give it a 8? 7. I mean, not 8. 8 sounds good to me. Atmosphere. I don't like Duriz's atmosphere. I'm sorry, man. I think Duriz looks fucking dull. I think it looks dull as hell. Remember, the Giant is not Duriz. I'm counting the Giant as its own map, right? It's technically not a remaster. It's technically a remake. So it's its own map. As you can see, it's down here at the Giant. Its own map. I know it feels so similar to... Oh, hey, Jay. How are you? It feels so similar to Duriz, but it's not enough to be its own thing. So, like, why should it be its own thing? Hey, Jay, I'm upset. We wanted to defeat the Ender Dragon and you wouldn't do it with us. Okay. Atmosphere. I really am not crazy about Duriz's atmosphere. I think it looks dull. It looks empty, yeah. And like I said, the Giant looks great, but this is not the Giant, so. The Easter egg song's pretty good though, so I gotta give it at least a point for that. I'm gonna give it a 2. I don't like the atmosphere on Duriz. Replayability. Pack-a-Punch makes it very replayable because you just gotta try all the different weapons, right? So let me go to items. It's basically the same as Shi No Numa. You spelled here wrong. Imagine if Lex reacted to your list. Honestly, I don't think he would be against mine. I'm pretty sure, like, looking at his list, It wasn't, mine isn't that different to his, other than like a few maps. Like, we were very different on like Alpha Omega. A couple of the Infinite Warfare maps, but that's really it. Did you kill it? No, we didn't do it because we needed you. Well, actually, no. Matt was lagging all over the place, so we just stopped playing. Replayability. Oh wait, I was talking about items. I feel like 17 for Shion was a little high. That's actually wrong. Shion was actually a DLC multiplayer map called Knee Deep. So technically it was. It was a DLC map. Most people don't know about it. Every map technically was a map that was in World of War multiplayer. Do I watch YouTube or Sopranos? Go watch The Sopranos. I don't think Lex would watch this long ass stream. Oh no, of course not. He was just saying the tier maker. Yeah, dude, Lex is funny. I don't agree with a lot of what he says, but he's hilarious. So it's more than enough to. Shut up, Matt. Get the hell out of here, you laggy ass motherfucker. Okay. I'm gonna take 1 point off here, and then I'm gonna add 1 point for Doriz because Doriz added the monkey bombs. That's literally the only difference between Doriz and Shionoma. I'll give 1 more point for monkey bombs because I think monkey bombs are cool. That's the only reason it's getting a plus. You should have Bob. Replayability. Let's get back to replayability. I'm gonna give it a 15. No, not 15. 12. 12. What am I doing? There's no Easter eggs other than this little Samantha's flytrap thing, and that's, you don't do anything. You don't get anything for it, right? You don't get the Annihilator like you do in the Giant, at least. So I don't think it's that big of a deal. Map design. Not as good as the Rex map design, but I'll give it an 8 because I do like the map design. Bosses. You just had the dogs, right? But they were not new, so it's gonna be less than Shionoma because they weren't new. Well, teleporters were a thing. That's true. Bosses. Actually, you know what? Teleporters. I'm gonna give items an 18 because that is true. Teleporters was a cool thing. You look Mexican. You know what? Good. Good. Looks so damn funny, but a little toxic. They didn't stop from loving it. Yeah, I agree. I agree. No, like, honestly, he's toxic as hell, but he's hilarious. So it's not, I don't give a shit. Bosses, I'm going to give a... Because they're still the... I'm going to give a 4. They're still the dogs, but... Nah, actually, I'll give it a 5. Because they're not new, but they're still the dogs, right? They're still awesome like they were in Shionoma. So that's exactly what I expected it would be. Doriz number 1, Shino number 2, Varrock 3, not 4. It's exactly how I expected it to be. It's exactly how I expected it to be. Kinoraton. Kinoraton. Let's go to innovation real quick. I'm going to give it a nice fat 1. Innovation is a fat 1 for Kinoraton. A 1. A 1. A 1. Well, not toxic in like a bad way, honestly. That might have been the wrong word to use, but more like he's just he complains a lot. Like when BO4 was out, he was just calling it trash every other day. That in that kind of a way. But like it's his opinion, so I don't really care. But toxic is probably the wrong word to use. He's a good guy, obviously. He's not a bad person. Atmosphere. Just like Doriz, a 2. Because it's a gross looking map. It's gross. They did have the Thunder Gun, but we're talking about innovation. Innovation. Thunder Gun's just a new wonder weapon. That'll go into the items category. That's wonder weapons. That's different. But having a new wonder weapon, that's not really innovation. Every map, or most maps have new wonder weapons. Replayability. Honestly, the same as Doriz, right? It's literally the same as Doriz. There's almost no difference, except for the map looks a little different. So it's 12. I feel like it has the same replay value, both of them. But items, right? It's got the Black Ops 1 guns. I hate the Black Ops 1 guns. 95% of them are shit. Are shit. The best guns, you get the Galil, Commando. Yeah, blended newspaper. Yeah, that's what Matt said, I believe. Not you, Matt. Not that Matt. Even today was the only league fit I found that I understood. Thanks for you. Oh, no problem. Yeah, I just saw it and I was like, okay, interesting stuff. Thought I should make a video on it. Items. Like I said, Black Ops 1 guns. Boring, but I love the Thunder gun though. But I hate the Black Ops 1 gun so much that it carries it down. Oh, compressed air is the best. I love that shit. You just get all the dust out of there. It's great. I'll go to map design first because I can't think of a thing for items. Map design out of 10. I think it's pretty similar to Deriz, but it's not the same as Deriz, but I do like it though. I'll give it an 8. I do like it. You start in the beginning, you go all the way around, power, and then you get the middle. It's simple, but I like it. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna, just so you can all see what each thing is out of. I'll put HR so you can see 10 there. Oh, chill. Okay. Yeah, B1 guns are ass. Gotta get points for 1 of 5. Well, yeah, that's an atmosphere. That's why it has 2 points instead of having 0. Get some more. Didn't have an Easter egg, so what about high rounds on this map? BO1 guns are ass. You got a couple traps, but they're not really different, so they're not really fun to use for high rounds. The Thunder gun, though, is powerful. Black Ops 3, though, I don't find it to be that fun, honestly. Not as good as Shinonuma, not as good as Kino. I'll give it a 7. Bosses. Oh, bosses. Oh, this is a fun one. Did Deriz add the Bowie knife? Oh, yeah, it did add the Bowie knife. I didn't think of the Bowie knife. But does it deserve a whole extra point just for the Bowie knife, though? You know what? Yeah, honestly, innovation, I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10. It deserves an extra point for the Bowie knife. The Bowie knife's on like every map going forward, pretty much, or some sort of a Bowie knife. Most maps, at least. It deserves the points for that. Thanks for letting me, or reminding me of that. Bosses on Kino. They brought back the dogs, which are boring because we've already seen them. But then they added the goddamn Nova Crawlers, which are the most obnoxious things, some of the most obnoxious things, in goddamn Zombies history. Hold up, I'm gonna turn this light on. That kind of fixes the shadow a little bit, actually. I'm getting pissed off by the shadow. Why'd you change your name, AJ? Bosses, let's give it a 3. The Nova Crawlers are bringing it down. They really are. Story. Kino's story was honestly kind of boring. Oh my god, Kino's getting such a bad score. This is weird. This is weird. It did. It's huge for the community's sake. But that's not what I'm ranking them on, though. I'm ranking them on my preferences in these categories. How the community felt about a map, I don't really care about. You know what I mean? Like, that's not my problem, you know? Like, if a map killed off the community, I wouldn't give it a bad score. Like, if I like the map, I like the map. Thundergun and Overcrawlers were actually supposed to be on 5. Oh yeah, I heard about that, actually. Well, Overcrawlers were on 5, but... His name was Chet, also Cage. Oh no, X Nation's playing Black Ops 3 on the computer. That's sad. Story? It had some interesting things. Like, I do like when there was the... What's it called? Pablo. They started referencing Pablo a little bit, who wasn't shown until TOG. It's probably the same as Shinonuma. I'll give it a 7. Still has a story there. Now, items. Thundergun is awesome. Thundergun is awesome. I'm going to give it a 15. I don't like the Black Ops 1 gun, so it's holding it down a little bit, but the Thundergun is really awesome. They didn't add any new perks either, which was really upsetting. Yeah, I don't have a legacy grade. I just don't want to rank, because legacy would be ranking them on nostalgia, right? And I'm keeping nostalgia out of this list. 0 nostalgia. Nostalgia is no. None. I don't think that's fair to rank maps on nostalgia. That's stupid, because it's just like, that's so subjective. Like, some of these are all subjective for the most part. Like, we're disagreeing on them. I'm saying things, you're saying different things. That means it's subjective, right? But nostalgia is just so biased and subjective. It's not even funny. But I'm not happy with this final score, though. I still think it should be higher. So I feel like I'm missing something. Yeah. Man, what the hell is that? I like the music. Because what's a little bit messing with me right now, and this is why it's so interesting to write them out like this rather than just thinking of it in your head and just writing it down, is because normally I would always put Kino higher than Shinonuma. But look at it. Look how much higher Shinonuma is. It's a whole 8 points higher. So I feel like that's just how it... I just feel like that's so weird. But maybe I actually think Shinonuma's a better map. I really do think I do. I mean, I can't mess with, like, my facts. Like, I wouldn't just change around things just to make it better because that's what I think it is. I'm trying to be as the least biased I can possibly be. So if this says that Kino's worse than Shinonuma, I gotta keep it like that. I gotta. That's just how it is. And I really don't think any of those categories. I'm trying to think. Maybe atmosphere, because I did say Kino Detroit was gross looking, but... Yeah, Moon added Mule Kick, but then they brought it back to all the original maps in Black Ops 1. Fun factor. Fun factor is basically replayability. It's kind of the same thing, I think. But I didn't really want a category for fun because fun is so subjective. Like, that's so subjective. I could have fun with trash. You know what I mean? Replayability takes an extra step where it's not only are you having fun on the map, but is it good enough to go back and play it multiple times? Right? Not just is it fun. Because fun, I could have fun with little trash. But I probably couldn't have fun multiple times with trash. That's why replayability is a better category to have than fun. Because replayability is fun over time rather than just once. If you play with the right people, you could have fun with anything. To be honest. I just think Shinonuma gets the higher spot because... First of all, added dogs. You know what? Honestly, the problem I think I have with this ranking right now is the fact that in bosses, I'm ranking them based on, like, if it's not a new boss, it does not as high of a ranking. But innovation is over here. I shouldn't be taking into account innovation over here. Right? If there's dogs in one place and dogs in another place, it should be the same, right? Shouldn't it be? Yeah, I can have a lot of fun on Transit, but it doesn't take away the fact that it's a trash map. So... Well, see, it's boring to you. That's why I love ranking, because it's very different. But I'm not trying to keep... That's why I don't like a fun factor, because, like, that's very subjective. You know what I mean? So, like, I'm trying to keep fun out of it as much as possible, but that's gonna be a factor at some point. There has to be. So, Verrückt and Nacht are the same when it comes to bosses. I shouldn't be making them different. I shouldn't be. I really shouldn't be. What do you guys think? We are on Kino. I'm just going back because I'm rethinking some of these rankings. I'm rethinking the boss category because I've been thinking about boss in terms of, like, I've been thinking, like, in terms of how innovative they were rather than, like, the boss itself. Innovation is where innovation comes from. So new boss zombies, that's in here. That should not be in the boss category. This is just them itself. So let's say a map has the same boss as another map, and then the same exact boss. It should be the same. It shouldn't be different. But Rucked is worse than Noct in terms of bosses. Well, they're the same. Oh, well, they sprint all. Yeah, I guess that's true. But that's such a hard one. We'll come back. We'll come back to this eventually. I'm probably gonna honestly relook over this whole thing after the stream because it's harder than I thought it would be. This is harder than I thought it would be. That's why I wanted to do stream rather than do it myself. Based on how it plays. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Based on how balanced they are. Or, no, how they're supposed to be, I guess. Because sometimes they're supposed to be really hard bosses, but as long as they're not really damn hard. Yeah, World of War dogs were hella different than Black Ops 1. They did feel different. They were much easier in Black Ops 1. Black Ops 3, they're just a different level of easy, but we'll come back because I'm not liking that category. I'm rethinking that category right now. But we'll come back. This is not final over here. This is just for now. No, I agree. They were better in Shinonuma. 5, replayability. It has 5. You got a Pack-a-Punch machine, which automatically pushes up the replayability, but there's no Easter egg. Remember, I'm not counting Classify. This is just 5. Winter's Howl is boring. The traps are kind of boring. I'm giving it a 5. I'm sorry, 5 is 5. It's getting a 5. Items. Black Ops 1 guns plus a Winter's Howl, it's going to be less. It's going to be 10. Like, honestly, the Thunder Gun gives it 5 points here. And no new perks either. Come on. Map design. About to edit a whole 1.5 hour clip. Damn, good. Good luck. Map design. I hate the map design in 5. I know some people do, but I hate it. 3. It's just I think it's a boring map design. You just start one place, you go down a level, an elevator, and then you go down another level. Like, okay, that's it. Then you got to re-go through those to get to the next places, or you got to get to the teleporters, but they're not like classified teleporters where they tell you where they go. No, 5s are completely random. That's annoying. Bosses. Oh, bosses. Oh my god, I'm gonna give it a 1 there. I'm sorry. I hate the Pentagon Thief. He looks awesome, but he's a piece of shit. Stealing your gun? I mean, come on. That's not fun. There's nothing fun about him stealing your gun. You know what? I'm giving it a 2, actually. You know why? Because he gives you a fire sale. No, 3. The fire sale's worth it. The bonfire sale. If you kill him, you get you get the fire sale if you kill him. But he comes way too early. That's his problem. And then you have the Nova Crawlers on top of that. So, yeah, that's a 3. I'm sorry. Like, I don't like the bosses on this map. But the reward they give you is a little bit bigger, a little bit better. 5 for creativity. Yeah, it's creative, but you could be creative, but also be shit, though. You know? Creative things could also be shit. Okay, the high rounds, because there's no Easter egg. They're not easy, I'll tell you that much. They're doable, though. There's not really any good strategy. The fact that he comes way too early is my problem. If he didn't come to, like, round 15, I'd be right with him. But he comes way too early. High rounds on 5. It's not better than Kino. Not better than... Nah, it's really tedious. There's not enough guns that are powerful enough to kill the zombies early on, so... You'd be like going around 50 is not that bad, but like once you get past 50 though... Story. Now story does include characters as well as quotes, so it's gonna get brownie points there because the characters were kind of cool. I gotta say, the characters were kind of cool. Playing as JFK, Fidel Castro, Nixon, McNamara, that was cool. Freeze gun is cool. It's cool, but it's shit. It was good in BO4, but it's just shit in this game. It doesn't kill past round like 10. So I can't give it much points for that. But story, it was not that important to the rest of the plot, though. There wasn't much plot progression for the main storyline. It just had cool characters. So it's going to get some brownie points for having cool characters, but that's really it. It's still not doing much for the main story. Now, atmosphere. I actually really like the atmosphere. I'm going to give it a 5. Especially the... Actually, no. You know, it's 6. It is lacking in some stuff. But having the... You need a category for songs. Songs... So, okay, so atmosphere. The category that says atmosphere. Atmosphere is the location, the soundtrack, so that includes songs. Because I don't want to get a whole category for songs. I don't feel like songs are that important. So it's kind of included in atmosphere because that kind of adds to the atmosphere of the songs. So, like Kino, I really hate the atmosphere of Kino, but I give it 2 points because it has a damn good song. No love for Pentagon. No love for him, man. He's annoying. I can't stand it. Innovation, 5. Did it innovate? It added the cool transportation method of the elevators, I guess, which was kind of fun. I'm gonna give it a 7. No, that's too much for innovation. There's no new perks. I don't know. 5. It's more innovative than Shinonuma and Kino, but it also started the trend of really, like, close-quartered maps. I mean, other than Nacht and Verrückt, but think about it. Shinonuma, Der Riese, and Kino all had really great training. 3 maps in a row with all really good training rooms. Rewards are nice, yeah, but that's why I gave 3 points. It would get 0 points if he didn't give you a good reward. So, good thing he's getting any points. Bro, Die Rise? Get the hell out of here with Die Rise shit. So, 40, that's pretty accurate. I'd probably put 5 at the worst out of all these. So, that's accurate for what I would do. Ascension. Replayability. Now, like I said, a lot of these other things affect replayability. And one of the biggest things that ruins it for me are the monkeys. We'll get into boss zombies, but monkeys... They ruin the replay value on this map. They do. They really do. I still like it more. I would still rather play it than 5. But would I rather play it than Kino? I forgot about PhD Flopper. PhD Flopper is so much fucking fun. But the monkeys are just dragging it back, though. Like, it's not even... It's just... Unless you're playing with more than one person, if you're playing solo, it's just terrible. It's just not a fun time. But PhD Flopper was awesome. But that's an innovation. And items. Because new perks. It's out of 20. Yeah, replayability is out of 20. I love this music. We should put on some zombies music instead of this. Should I put on zombie songs? I'm gonna put on zombie songs. Hold on real quick. Kevin Sherwood. Might as well go with we'll go with the theme, right? Put on some zombie songs. Might as well. Fits with what we're doing a little bit more, right? I don't know how loud that is, but y'all can probably hear it, right? I don't know. Okay. I'm gonna turn on the fan as well. It always gets hot when I'm streaming, like always. Why is I'm talking so much? I'm just putting the what's it called? The playlist on, so if Annihilation comes up, it'll come up. I think the first one up is the Tog Easter egg song, so y'all have to listen to Tog's Easter egg song first. Ascension replayability. I honestly think it's gonna be 10. It's gonna be a 10. Oh, it does have an Easter egg too, but the Easter egg's not replayable. This is not replayable. It's not a replayable Easter egg, man. I'm sorry. Items. They had Thundergun came back, which not innovative, but it's still a Thundergun. The Gersh devices, Matryoshka dolls, PhD floppers, stamina up. Pretty much all. Yeah. It's definitely better than Kino's weaponry. So I'll give it a... I'm gonna obviously give it a 17. sad. I wanted to grind double XP to get 1000 in BO4. Damn, that sucks. I was honestly want to play more as well. I didn't really have much time to play. I really wanted to. Map design, Ascension. I love how big Ascension is. I really do. I think Ascension's map design is honestly one of my favorites. I'm gonna give it a 9. I like Ascension's map design. Bosses. You know what? It's just the monkeys, right? There's no dogs. There's no Nova crawlers. There's nothing. I'm sorry. There's nothing redeemable about the monkeys. I'm sorry. I can't give anything redeemable about the monkeys. I'm sorry. There's just nothing good. The sickle. That is true. I guess I gave items a pretty big number though. So. Easter egg. They're still updating BO3. Hell no. Game's like 5 years old. Easter egg. It was kind of boring. Yeah, it was really boring. It's Easter egg. I want to give it a 3. Story. They had some really interesting story shit. This is where the lore started getting dope. Decrease the items, or by the time you get to BO3, it's all 20. Well, it's not based on power. It's based on, like, enjoyment, I guess. So, like, even though the BO3 weapons are the most powerful, like, I do find BO3 guns be boring as fuck. You know what I mean? Like, the guns in BO3 are really boring. The wonder weapons, though, yeah, that's gonna increase the category, because the wonder weapons are fucking awesome. Like, all of them. But I felt like guns were all really, like, they felt the same. There was no reason not to buy the wall guns. But the BO3 maps are going to be high as hell anyways. They're probably going to be the highest on this whole list. So I don't think it even matters, man. Story. They had some interesting stuff. It was interesting lore shit. Especially with, like, the Gersh character. They had some, like, stuff. Yuri or whatever his name was. So I think it's got more than Kino. It's got more than Shuno. I'm going to give it an 8. Atmosphere. The fact that it's black and white before you turn the power, I really like that. The Easter egg song is one of my favorites. It's got that, like, really Cold War Soviet vibe. Yeah, I don't like the weapon sounds on BO3 either. 7. 7 for Atmosphere. That Cold War Soviet feel is great. Innovation. New perks. That's a big innovation. First Easter egg. I'm going to give it a 10 for innovation. It's the first Easter egg. The first main Easter egg. So that makes Ascension a 64 out of 100. Which is a little bit higher than Shinonuma. Call of the Dead. Y'all know how much I love Call of the Dead. Replayability. The George boss zombie. I'm gonna go to... I'm sorry, guys. You might not like me for this. I know a lot of people hate George, but... it's a 10. George is the perfect boss zombie. And you're wrong if you tell me otherwise. He is the perfect boss zombie. Here's why, right? Call of Dead has no bosses other than George. There's no dogs, there's no Nova crawlers, there's nothing bothering you. It's just the zombies, right? But then you have this big man who is chasing you the whole time, but he's going slow as hell. He's going Michael Myers type speed, right? Slow. Jason Voorhees. He's walking the whole time. So if you go on the other side of the map and he's on the other side, he's going to take a while to get to you, but he'll get there eventually. So this makes camping almost impossible. So you have to train around. You have to figure out how you're going to train around, right? The best part about him, though, is when you kill him, you get a free perk. That literally makes him the best, because it's, first of all, not that hard to kill him. And I know you get free perks from the monkeys, but only if you, like, somehow stop them from destroying all the machines, which is, like, almost impossible if you're on solo. Or hitting the machines at all. But these... George, you get a free perk if you kill him, and then he goes away for a round or two. And if you've done the Easter egg, you get a free Wonder Waffle. That's fucking awesome. Like, I can't not give him a great score for that. He's just such a cool, it's just a cool boss. I mean, it is George Romero. It's George Romero. It's gotta be high. Replayability, I don't like the Easter egg that much, so that kind of brings down the replayability. There's not much you can really do with it. But killing George over and over again, the training spots, there's just so much, like, to the map, I feel like, when it comes to just moving around. But then again, it is an older map that doesn't have as much like side quests to do. A little bit more replayable than Kino, but not by too much, I think. I'll give it a 14. Items. The VR11 sucks. The Scavenger is only good until around like 40. Other than that, actually 30. After that, it starts sucking. So they added Deadshot, which is kind of a boring perk. The items aren't that great on this map, actually. I didn't think about that. The Matryoshka dolls weren't anything new. Yeah, the items category is going to be kind of low for Call of the Dead. Might even be below Kino, actually. I'm going to give it a 13 for that. That's not that good, actually. Maybe it should be even lower. I might give it even lower. I'm going to give it a 10. I didn't realize that. The wonder weapons are so bad that, like, it's just not even fun to use them. The Scavenger's good in early rounds, but that's about it. Map design. It's a big-ass map. And I feel like the transportation methods, though, allowed it so it didn't feel that big. You had the zip lines, right? And the flinger. I forgot about the flinger. So that makes the big map not that big of a deal. You have also the cool little slide you can go down. I like the map design. I don't like it more than Ascension, though. I'm going to give it an 8. So, Easter egg. I think it's kind of boring. But it's rewarding, though. Because if you complete it, every game after that, if you kill George, you get the Wonder Wop. That's a good reward, and good rewards make the Easter egg a little bit better, so I'm going to give it a 5. Story. We'll play tomorrow GTA. Yeah, we will. One that shoots zombies people. That's the VR11. It's trash. And it's trash. The VR11 is trash. It's interesting, but it's trash. Story. That's an example. Something creative that's trash. Let's see. Story. Story, it didn't really progress the plot too much. The characters were cool. I loved playing as those characters. I think it's similar to 5, but didn't progress the story too much. But there was really... Honestly, no. You know what? It did. It did, because the facility they're at... But I feel like Tog, it didn't really progress it until the last fucking map. Until Tog. And it really did, you know, make the map a lot more lively, I guess. But I don't like it more than Ascension story. I'm gonna put a 7 there. Atmosphere. Atmosphere is gonna be a damn 8. The snow. I like the fog. I know people hate fog, but I love it. I love how it makes the map feel. No, it might be higher than that, actually. No, actually, that's probably fine. I feel like the replayability should be higher. Maybe by a little bit. I don't know. The items... I'm really thinking about this. You know what? The story, for the fact that the original characters were there, Jug is damn mission on that map. Holy shit. I actually think I like the story a little bit more. I'm gonna put an 8. Because what it did in Tog, what it did for Tog, was pretty big. The fact that it's the place, the facility where it is unique in atmosphere. It's got a great atmosphere. Honestly, like, I want to put it higher than 8. Like, I do. But I don't know if it deserves higher than 8. I think it's unfair to give it a 10 for items. Because you do have stuff like PhD. You do have some great perks on this map. You have 7. You have 8 perks on this map. Or do you have 8? I don't know. Is it 8 or 7? A lot of perks. I can fly. Only classic story map. Yeah, that's true. I do love the fog. You know what? You're convincing me. You're convincing me to put it to 9. Not 10, though. It's not a perfect atmosphere. Not yet. If it had, like, great soundtracks, like the Mob of the Dead type stuff, then then it would be higher, but it doesn't, so it's a little bit lower because of that. I feel like I'm putting it on the same level as 5. Yeah, that's wrong. I shouldn't put it on the same level as 5. Because you gotta look at 5. Should be worse, or should Call Dead be better in terms of items? You have more perks. The more weapons, the scavenger, yeah, it's better. It's gotta be better. I'm gonna give it a 12. And innovation, how much did it innovate? First map to have a pretty good Easter egg reward, that's for sure. Added dead shot. 2 new wonder weapons rather than just 1. That is a big thing. I don't think it's that big of innovation though. It's nothing crazy. I'm gonna give it a 6. It definitely innovated more than some of the other maps, but it's not anything huge. I just don't think that sounds right to me. I'm really confused about that spot. Because a 58 does not sound right for Call of the Dead, and I'm really thinking as to why. But like I said, I can't argue with facts. This is how I made this list. This is how I feel. And honestly, the reason why I think that's the case, and I might have to mess around with this stuff a little bit more, is because I don't think these all deserve 10%. You know what I mean? Like, maybe I didn't put this right. Like, it was looking fine in the beginning, but like, I really can't see myself thinking Call of the Dead is worse than Shi No Numa. Like, I can't, like, it doesn't sound right to me, you know? But like, the way I set this up, it has to be that way. It can't be any other way, you know? Like, that's how I set it up. That's how it's supposed to be. I feel like it's the boss category and the Easter eggs plus high round category that's really screwing with it a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, that's really screwing with it. Wait a minute. I think I might know what's up. I'm stupid. Let me see if I'm right. If I'm right, that's really funny. I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. That makes okay. That makes sense now. Okay. So my calculations were right for the first few, but I forgot that when I got to a certain point, I stopped adding up all of them, and it was only adding up to G, so it wasn't counting H and I. Okay, I just uncovered it. Ascension might be higher than 2, right? Let me check. That's really funny. No, okay, so it's okay. Call of Dead. That was really weird to me. I was like, why is it Call of Dead a 58? There's no way Call of Dead's a 50. Okay, 73. That makes much more sense. Chance to cloud reveal tomorrow. Honestly, after not getting something today, I'm not even gonna predict it again. Like, I'll just, whenever it comes, it comes. That's kind of how I'm seeing it now. Like, I don't want to get excited for a date and then not happen. So I'm just gonna wait, hope for the best. If we don't hear any new leaks, I'm just gonna wait. If we hear some leaks and stuff like that, maybe I'll get a little excited. But for now, like, it'll come when it comes. You know what I mean? I'll lower the music a little bit. I'm gonna open the window. It's hot as balls in here, man. So hot. Okay, so that makes more sense. Now we don't have to worry about freaking false information. Dude, Google Excel, I wish I had, I wish I had Microsoft there. I feel like Microsoft's so much better. I'm really using Google Excel. It's freaking ass cheeks. Is there a faster way to do this? Does anybody know? There's gotta be, like, so you can just keep going down and down. There's gotta be a quicker way to do it, right? Maybe some... Oh, the first female character. Yeah, that is true. But I don't think that's that big of a deal, I'll be honest with you. That's like cool, but like I wouldn't give it a full point for that, you know what I mean? Yo, Mr. Hamster! Yo, what's good, man? What are you doing to give me $30? Thank you so much. That is too kind, man. I don't know how much that is in US dollars because that's NT. I don't know what NT means. I don't know what kind of dollar that is, but that's something good. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. You're the man. I'm doing great. I hope you're doing great as well. I love you. That's too kind of you. What is NT, by the way? I don't know what kind of like currency that is, but I don't care. That's still great. Thank you so much, man. All right. I gotta figure out a faster way to do this thing. I gotta figure out the fastest way to do this.
Yo, expert, what's up, man? Hamster face.
Oh, the freaking donation came in late to the thing, but thank you so much, though. I really appreciate it. That's really nice of you. That is not $30. And what is it? I don't know what NT is. I have no idea. Taiwanian money. Taiwanian, same thing. It's probably around 30 bucks. I don't care. If it's a dollar, it's still good enough for me. As long anyone donating, that's good enough. That's being generous enough, you know. If you donate me a penny, I'd thank you. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care how much it is. Shave the beard. I told you, I'm only shaving the beard if I get a $100 donation. But I don't expect anyone to do that. I'm not telling you to donate me $100. I don't want you to because that's too much. But it's the only reason I would do it. Okay, that's the only reason I would do it. Other than that, I want to keep it. That's why I'm telling you 100 because I know no one's gonna do 100. I mean, at least I hope you get it. I mean, would I mind it? Probably not. But I don't want to shave it. That's all I'm saying. It's $1. Oh, it's still nice though. Thank you. I appreciate it. Wait, how is that $1? Does it really translate like that? That's funny. I don't care though. Thank you so much. I still appreciate it. I was thinking it was like 30 bucks. No, it's fine. You're great though. I still any amount of money is still wonderful. That's all I gotta say. That's all I gotta say. I'll just move to what is it? Taiwanian. I'll move to Taiwanian. Taiwan. I'll move to Taiwani. You know, Mystery is a damn good song. I agree. All right, let's get back to this. But thank you. I appreciate the donation. Okay. Should I just... Yeah, we'll do that after. So, Shangri-La. Let's talk about Shangri-La. Wait, what is this? There we go. Okay. Shangri-La. Thanks for sending super chat a lot on YouTube. I feel like I've seen you like once or twice here, but thank you though. I still appreciate it. Legendary. The legendary hamster. Okay. Shangri-La replayability. Is Shangri-La replayable? Is Shangri-La replayable? Easter egg is interesting, but it's not a good one. I don't think it's a good one. I'm not a big fan of it. The monkeys are cool. There's not a lot of places to train. That's that unique. There's not a lot of strategies for most things. It's honestly same as Ascension to me. Yeah, same as Ascension. Items. A baby gun's awesome. When will the next COD reveal? I don't know, man. I don't know, man. Hopefully tomorrow. Hopefully sometime next week, maybe. But I don't have the information, man. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Items. The goddamn baby gun, the JGB, whatever the hell it's called. It's pretty damn cool. But they didn't add any new perks. Still the same perks as before, which is fine. It's cool perks. Got PhD and shit, which is awesome. Was there any new equipment? No, not really. They had some interesting traps as well. But the baby gun was cool. Do you play CF? Bro, I don't know what CF is. I don't know what CF is. Okay. The JGB, the baby gun, brings it up a little bit. But not by that much. Bring up the trash game. I don't even know what game it is, I'm gonna be honest. I have no idea. 15. Where are we going from here? Map design. It's literally the same as Kino. I blow my nose and fucking getting stuffed up in here. Oh yeah, that's great. That's wonderful. Fantastic. Okay. Shangri-La. Map design. It's the same as Kino. I love the different locations though. You have the bridge, the waterfall, under you can go under, and then it loops back around. That's actually a really cool map design. But there's so tight, so close quarters, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Dude, this is taking so long. Holy shit. We might split this up. I might do another part 2 to this tomorrow. It's taking way too long, man. I think this will take this long. Because it's much harder than you'd think to go through these categories. It's not like a not a you know like a think of them what's it called? It's not a fast thing you can do. How many percentage of trophies you have? I have no idea. I don't really look into trophies. I never really give a shit about them. Well, they're called, what are they called? Gamer score or achievements in Xbox. I don't look at them, so I don't know. I like the map design. I do. It's pretty similar to Kino. I'm gonna give it an 8. BO4 2, that's kind of dope. Bosses, the monkeys, but they're different than Ascension. This time they change your power-ups. And I actually kind of like that. But you do have the Screechers and then the fire zombies, whatever they're called, the napalm zombies. They're not terrible. They're kind of interesting and unique. I'm gonna give it an 8. It's an interesting thing. I don't really like the Easter egg, so I'm gonna give it a 3. It's just not a fun one to me. Story, the whole stuff with Brock and Gary is kind of cool, but not as good as the other ones. 6. It wasn't. Atmosphere. It's a beautiful map in BO3. I'll tell you that much. But I don't like the atmosphere. I don't like the jungle vibe as much as like the snowy Soviet place vibe. So 8. Innovation. Innovation. Was it innovative? Didn't add any new perks. No, it wasn't innovative. There was really nothing really new. Some new traps, but like it's not really new, you know? It's not a big thing. It's not groundbreaking to zombies. You know what I mean? This is one of the least innovative maps. I'm gonna give it a 2. It had some new stuff, but nothing huge, so that makes sense. Okay, that score makes sense to me. Let me make sure Kino was set up right. Maybe Kino wasn't set up right. No, Kino was set up right. Wait, fuck. Let go. Where are we going? Where are we going? You like the music? I love the music. Moon. Replayability. Oh my god. The Excavators. Ruin Moon. The low gravity. Ruins Moon. The freaking, what are they called? How you can blow up the thing and then you need to like, you gotta keep your suit on because if you can't get the hacking device. It ruins Moon. I'm gonna give it a 5 for replayability. It's one of the least replayable maps. I can't play this map past around 10. It's not fun. It's not fun. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I know people like it, but it's not fun. Items though, brought back the Gersh device. They introduced Mule Kick, which was definitely a great perk to introduce. It's not a great perk necessarily, but it was still a good idea for a perk. Wave Gun is hella dope. It's hella dope. Not my favorite wonder weapon, but it's hella dope. Still Black Ops 1 guns. But not better than Shangri-La's baby gun. Or loadouts there. So less than Shangri-La, but more than Call of the Dead because, yeah, 14. 14 sounds good to me.
It's YouTube music. Download the app today and get a trial of
Map
Music
design.
Premium on us.
Oh my
Restrictions
god,
apply.
map design was garbage. I'm giving it a 2. Oh my god, I love shitting on Moon. I love it. I love shitting on Moon. Moon, it's just a terrible map design. It's a cool idea. You spawn at Area 51 and then you go to the teleporter, but the map is so big and there's just... Smith Plays made a video on it recently and I watched it. It was a very good retrospective review on Moon. And he was excited, hit the nail on the head. The map is too damn big and there's not enough transportation methods to get around the damn map. So if your friend goes down on one side of the map and you're in this, you can't revive him. It's impossible. It's just too big and unnecessary. The dome, whatever you call it, the biodome, it's a cool place. I do like that area, but that's, you know, it's a cool area because it looks cool. So that would be an atmosphere. That wouldn't even be map design. Bosses. You only have the Nova Crawlers, which I hate. Yeah, I know there was an advertisement. Bosses. Astronaut. He sucks ass. Absolute sucks ass. And then you got the... Oh my god, Moon's gonna be a terrible score. I just realized. Bosses are gonna be a damn 2, man. I know. Oh, you know what? A 1. A 1. They look cool, but they're not... They're annoying. Easter egg. I do like the Easter egg. It gives you all the perks. Nah, but it's not an 8, though. It's too high. A 7. A little bit better, but... Story! I fucking love Moon's story. That's the one good thing about Moon, is the story. I love how the Easter egg goes, and then Richtofen switches bodies with Samantha, and then you can play as Richtofen and Samantha's body, and then you blow up the goddamn Earth. It's a cool-ass story behind it. Did have the name of the friends, but that ain't enough for a damn point. Hell no. Hell no. Atmosphere. It's on the moon, which is cool. Oh, but you know what? Black Ops 3. I was gonna give it a shitty score because it looks ugly as hell, but Black Ops 3's moon looks fucking beautiful. Right? Black Ops 3 looks beautiful. So, that pushes it up a little bit. But I don't like the Easter egg song. Not as good as Call of the Dead or Moon's vibes. I'd say it's on par with Ascension and 7. I hope in Black Ops 5 we get more maps like 9 where it's a day, has a ton of people, and just feels so alive. I hope as well. I want more day maps. I do. Doritos is a classic on that. It is a classic. But I ain't ranking these on how classic they are, so... I will do whatever the hell I want to do with these maps. Innovation. Was Moon innovative? Meal kick. Easter egg reward. Rewarding you perks. Not really. It wasn't really that innovative. I'll give it up. But it's more innovative than Shangri-La. It's on par with Call of the Dead's innovation, so I'll give it a 6. So Moon's gonna get a 52. Is that the worst one? No, it's tied with Verupt. And then Nox the worst. Or no, Nox not the worst. 5's the worst still. Nox second worst. Hey, Pika Grossa. What the hell does that mean? Transit! We're on to Transit, boys! Let's get it! Replayability. Is Transit replayable? You'll be surprised to hear this, but it's actually more replayable than Moon. It's gotta be more replayable than 5. It's more replayable than Noct and Veruct. I'm gonna give it an 8. It's actually replayable. It is. I gotta be honest. It's a replayable map. You can do a lot on it. But items. Black Ops 2 guns. I think Black Ops 2 guns are dope, right? That's already a plus. Jet gun is ass. So it brings it down. Tombstone is just not a good perk either. Brings it down even more. Your boy just got out of the shower. Fantastic. Transits, items. The jet gun's bringing it down far. Items, I'm mainly referring to Wonder Weapons. Don't talk about items. But Black Ops 2 guns are kind of dope. Map design. Big, fat, rubber banded 0. Actually, you know what? 1. You know why? Because it's a cool idea. The idea is awesome. Having 5 different locations where you get to transport to with a bus. It's a cool idea, but shit execution. Bosses, denizens. Is that the only boss? And Avogadro kind of comes to you every now and then, but he's not really that cool, so 0. The denizens ruin the whole map, honestly. It's one of the worst parts about the map. Easter egg is honestly not terrible, but it's not better than any of the Black Ops 1. Yeah, it's better than... Okay, I'll put it better than Ascension and Shangri-La. Okay, it's a 4. It's a 4. Are getting the rest of BO2 today. Yeah, we'll hit through BO2. Maybe we'll do more than that, actually. We'll see. Story, the Victus crew for the first time, which is kind of cool. And you got, like, Richtofen talking to, like, the characters. And you know, they hear Maxis as well. And that's kind of cool. But it didn't do much. I didn't really care too much for the Victus story, so I'm going to give it a 5. Atmosphere. Y'all will be surprised to hear this. Y'all will be surprised to hear this, but I'm actually going to give it a... No, actually, no. It's not that great. It's 6. It's still got a decently cool atmosphere. Not that great, but it's cooler than... It's cooler than... You know, I'm going back to the items. I'm going to give it actually an 8 for that. I was thinking more about the jet gun. The jet gun's ass. The atmosphere is not terrible, but... Yeah, I don't know. I don't like that much, actually. Never mind. Did you watch ending flying sequence of... I watched most of that sequence, not the whole thing, though. It does look nice. Innovation. They added buildables, which was huge. That's a huge innovation, right? This added... well, I'm trying to think of BO2's thing. It's funny how Tagatoan is the maps with the most winter weapons. They are still hard to get from the box. Yeah, no, that they're all in the box. Well, you can get them from different side quests, at least. That's thankful. Innovation. Did Transit innovate? Did Transit innovate? Buildables. That's all I can think of. So, that's a huge innovation, though. I think buildables is massive innovation. So, honestly, just for that, it's going to get a 6. Honestly. So, Transit's ending with a 38. 38 for your boy Transit. That's the worst so far. Bus Depot. Let's bust through Bus Depot, Farm, and Town. I included them because, yes, they are their own maps. B1 is some of the best selling maps in the series. I disagree. Great maps, but not the best, in my opinion. In my opinion. B1, I would love a remake of B1 and World of War. I would fucking love. I would die, but they need to do the whole game. No, they couldn't just do zombies. The bus was ass. Bus Depot. Replayability. It's a 1. Or, actually, no. Grief mode was kind of fun on it. I'll give it a 3. Grief mode can be fun. Items. You get BO2 guns and no perks. So that's a 3. Like, I don't know what else to give it there. Like, no, actually, no. BO2 guns automatically give it at least... I'll say at least 7 for BO2 guns, right? But that's all you have. So, there's nothing else to the map. Map design. It's literally just a bus depot in a little outdoor area, so I'm giving that a I mean, you can train, I guess. I'll give it a 1. Bosses, there are none, so I don't really... I guess 5-0. Well, you can put dogs on it. You can. There's an option to put dogs on it. So I'll give it a 3 for that. Easter egg, high rounds. There's no Easter egg, so high rounds. Is it fun? Not really. So 3. Back, how we doing? We're on Bus Depot. We didn't get very far, man. We've been discussing this shit like crazy, man. Oh my god, but we're here now. Story. There was some story to it, but it wasn't interesting enough for me to give a flying fuck-a-doodly-doo. Atmosphere is literally the same as Transit, but you don't have as much of it, so 5. Innovation. Innovation is actually going to be a little bit higher on Bus Depot because this is the first time they decided to do some sort of a survival map that wasn't one of the main maps, you know? Gotta go, man. Got class tomorrow. Wake up. Alright. Thank you for tuning in, though, anyways. I'll see you. Don't forget Transit. They add the most important things in zombies, lava, denizens, and oh, definitely. Definitely the most important things in zombies history. Bus Depot, innovation. Not really there. Why is Knock number 1? No, this isn't the order. This is just the order of when they released. I didn't put them in a ranked order yet. I'm not gonna now. I'm just... So, okay, so here's the different categories, right? And they're at different points. And here's the total. So number 1 right now out of the maps we've done is Call the Dead, because it's 73. It's the highest tier. And then 2 is Deriz. So, trust me, Knock's not number 1. Don't worry. hard. Trust me, trust me. Farm. Oh, we didn't finish with innovation. It's the first of the survival map type maps, and they're actually kind of cool. So I have to give it like a 5 for that. And the farm, I'll give it a 5 as well, and town a 5 because they're all survival maps. So the first of their kind, really. Unless you consider, I really wouldn't consider like Knock to be a survival map because it wasn't really meant to. I don't know. It wasn't really. It's hard to explain. It's gonna be kind of annoying having to do this, but we'll do it. It's not that big of a deal. I might split this up. I was saying before, this might take us a long ass time, and I don't want to be here all night. So we might just do and continue tomorrow. I'll just go up to like Black Ops 2 Origins. And then we'll do the rest tomorrow. Because I don't want to rush it. And I'm not trying to be here all night, so that's what I'm probably. We'll finish BO2. Maybe Exo Zombies, but probably just up to BO2. And the reason only 72 and Kino's 55. I was really surprised with that. Honestly, I did not expect Kino to be that low. Because if I was just ranking these maps out, like off the top of my head, Kino would not be that low. I would put Kino probably 3rd place here. But Shangri-La and Shinonuma both score higher than Kino when I do this list. I was surprised, very surprised that happened. Zombies BO3 versus BO4, which one is superior? I would say BO3 by a little bit. I still like BO4, but I think BO3 is a little bit better. They just have better maps, better mechanics overall. There is some stuff BO4 does better, but farm replayability a little bit more because it has perks, but not by that much. It's just a simple survival map. There's not much replay value there. Items, really the same exact items as frickin'. Oh no, you have perks, so it goes to 9, I guess, because you get some perks. Map design, it's a farm, a little bit cooler, but not as cool. Or a little bit cooler than Busty Boy, not that cool. Bosses, you can add dogs, so 3. High rounds, a little bit better because you have perks, but still not that great. Story, literally the same exact story as farm. It's not really, or Busty Boy, not really a story. Atmosphere is a little, you know what? Busty Boat, that was too high for Busty Boat. Busty Boat's atmosphere is on a fucking 5. There we go. This list is actually surprising more than I thought I would. It's really good to do this because it makes your list as unbiased as humanly possible, which is a good thing. You don't want it to be too biased. When I just list them out yourself, they're going to be very biased. 5 zombies, Moon King or Toa, the only awesome entry best for zombies, in my opinion. It was pretty great, yeah. First had that bank. The bank was cool, but I think it made it way too easy. I know you didn't have to use it, but it let people cheese the game so hard. But you know what? I already gave Transit a 6 for innovation though. Whereas Diner, I don't. The only maps look, okay, so this is how I decide what counts as a zombies map, right? A map where you can play the original survival mode on it. Now, if it has grief modes and like other modes, that's fine. But if it only is a map where there's like only grief mode or a turn mode, because Diner you can only play turn, you can't play survival on it, I'm not counting it, you know? That's why I'm not counting Cell Block Grief. I'm not counting the little buried map. I'm not counting Dead Ups Arcade. I mean, that's not classic zombies, so why should I count it? Yeah, but that's how I'm counting these maps. Town is definitely not going to be an 80, I'll tell you that right now. The replayability on Town is definitely much higher than Bus Depot and Transit, but it still doesn't have much to it. It's definitely not more replayable than Ascension or Shangri-La. It's probably the same as Transit, honestly. No, less than I like Town more than Transit, I'll tell you that now, but it's not more replayable, though. Transit's got more shit to do. It really just does. That's just the simple fact of how it is. Items, it has the same exact items as those maps, except it has a Pack-a-Punch as well. So I'll give it an 11 for that, because it has Pack-a-Punch. Map design, I actually love the map design for Town, the way it's kind of set up. But it's still small as hell. it's honestly probably on par with like Noct. I feel like, yeah, Town is just fun. That's the thing. Like, I can't really rank it high. Like, objectively speaking, can you say it's a good, like, great map? It's just fun. I don't know. There's not much more to it, you know? That's the problem. I'm trying to think of what's really good about Town. It's just fun. I don't know. That's about it. There's no, like, there's nothing in depth about it. Map design, I'm going to give a 5. 5 out of 10. Bosses, literally the same as Bus Depot and Farm because you can add dogs, but dogs aren't that innovative or cool or anything, so they're not that high. High rounds for this map. High rounds is honestly, you have a really good training spots. You do. And it could actually be really enjoyable. How could Town and Bus Depot and Farm have more items scored than Transit? Because Transit has the fucking... Actually, is that... I'm trying to think. Because Transit is down because... You got to compare them, right? Transit is an Easter egg map. A full-fledged map, right? Bus Depot, Farm, and Town are just simple survival maps. So obviously they're not going to have as many like items to use necessarily. So I'm kind of giving them the benefit of the doubt for being survival maps. Because they're not going to have buildables. They're not going to have like as many items as Transit does. Transit's mainly being brought down because it's supposed to have a wonder weapon, which it does. And it's a shitty-ass wonder weapon. Chicago Game, do you think has the best zombie maps? I'm going to go with Black Ops 3. Because you got Horizon, you got Shadows of Evil, you got Garage Crovey. Honestly, I think Revelations and Inzetsu are underrated. They're both fine maps. And then if you count Zombies Chronicles, you got Origins. And then you got also a lot of Black Ops 1 maps. Farmer's slightly better than Transit, in my opinion. Probably. Nah, I don't see... I feel like Transit just has more stuff to do. That's the only reason I think it's a little bit better. But high rounds on Town was incredibly well balanced in the way that it's set up. But it doesn't have traps, so you can't get that high. I believe Town doesn't have any traps, right? Does it? I don't think it does. So you can't get to that high of a round, really. Which makes it more challenging, I guess. I do like how it's set up. Why did the music stop? Yeah, continue playing, you piece of shit. What? My YouTube's like glitched. You're all gonna have to listen to an ad real quick. I apologize, but you're gonna have to listen to an ad.
Started making YouTube videos and it just caught fire.
Dude, my YouTube's fucked up right now. I think my computer's gonna crash. Now we're probably fine. We should be fine. I don't know, it's like mess it up. You can get to like 50 pretty easily, but the fact there's no traps makes it anything higher than that really difficult. But in terms of just high rounds itself, not really how hard you can, how high you can get. That's not really what I'm ranking it on. Was YouTube down earlier? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was. I wasn't on it, but I was hearing it from Twitter that it was down. If the music keeps stopping, I'm just gonna shut it off. I'm gonna give it a. I'm gonna give it a 7. 7. Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 7. Okay. Story. Literally the same as the other two maps. Atmosphere. It's a nice atmosphere. I do like. It's just a town though. You know what? Honestly, I think it has more replayability than 7. I think it does. I'm probably being too harsh on it because it's a survival map. It doesn't have much to do on it. But Transit, would you rather play Transit or Town? I think I'd rather play Town actually. Because Transit, although it has more stuff to do, the more stuff to do is tedious and annoying and not fun. So that's what makes Town more replayable. Yeah, I'm going to give it a 10. You know what? Honestly, 11. I'm looking at Ascension and Shangri-La. I think I'd rather play Town than both those maps. I think 11's fair. It is more replayable. Atmosphere, though, yeah, it's pretty the same as that, so. So, Town is a 49. It's not that high. I really didn't expect it to be that high, to be honest. I really didn't. I didn't expect it to be that high. Michael, you're going to be pissed about that, but you got to go with it, because that's just how it's ranked. Which, to be fair, I'd probably rank it like a little bit above Noct anyways in my lists. So that's actually pretty fitting to where I would put it. I don't think that's far off. Better than Transit, but it's still not anything too high. So Branch King Town is much more replayable than Transit. Yeah, I was thinking of the more things you can do on Transit, but after thinking about it, those more things you can do kind of suck. So yeah, no, honestly, I'd rather play Transit than Bust Depot and Farm, because at least there's like a Pack-a-Punch to bust on Transit, you know? Even if that Pack-a-Punch is a bitch to get, it's still there, you know? Okay, Nuketown. Nuketown's honestly the same as Town to me, except the perks drop in randomly rather than just being there. But it's got like the same feel. Has the M27, so I'll give it one more point for having the M27. The M27's cool. Nuketown. Yeah, I'd say it's probably the best survival map. I'll give it for replayability. It's honestly the same as Town. Map design, it's literally Nuketown. It's I can't give it any more than a 5 for that. Bosses, you can put dogs on, I believe. So I'll give it a 3. High rounds, same as Town. It's really, this map is so similar to Town now that I'm thinking about it. Story, though. There's actually some interesting lore behind Nuketown. Wow, I didn't think about that. 7 for story. There's actually some great lore with the Marlton and the bunker. And then you have some of the, what's it called? Like the whole, the nuke dropping, which was like a little bit after that. Then I believe the moon. When you finish the map, I believe, is when the nuke drops from when you're dropping it on moon. So, hey, what's up, Fat Matt? How you doing? Atmosphere. What would Nuketown get for atmosphere? Story you can play during Moon Easter egg. Yeah, exactly. I think it has an interesting story to it, but I don't. It's just, I don't know, because when I get to some of the later maps that have way more story, it's just way more interesting. It's just way more interesting. Atmosphere now. It's literally just like Transit, in my opinion. I feel like the atmosphere isn't that different. You still have that like destroyed area type vibe. It's not anything too special. I don't think the atmospheres for any of these older Black Ops 2 maps are that great. You know? So 8 for atmosphere, really? I don't. Five. I played Town over Nuketown. I think I'd play Nuketown, honestly, just for the fact that you get the M27. You can get the M27. That's one of the only reasons, I think. But the perks randomly dropping in, though, is kind of annoying. So that is a flaw. I'm going to give it a... it's honestly the same as Town. 5. Fast pace, I feel like it's more open. Yeah, I guess, to a degree. Innovation, did it innovate? What it innovated? What the hell did it innovate in? I can't think of a single thing. Perks dropping in is not a cool innovation, I gotta say. And they never used that system again. I mean, Tetsubo kind of did, but not really. It's just not interesting. I don't think it's that innovative. It's a survival map, but we had survival maps before this. I believe, when did Nuketown drop? Did it drop with Black Ops 2, or was it like a month later? I can't remember. It might have been with Black Ops 2, but I don't remember playing it till like a month or two after it. I don't think it innovated at all. I'm sorry, too. Just for the sake of it. Did it innovate at all, though? I kind of want to give it a 0. Like, what did it do? You know? Perks dropping in. I don't think that's innovative. I don't think that's innovative. Like, it has to be, okay, innovation. When I have that category, good innovation. If it's just different for the sake of being different, that's not necessarily it. I'm not going to get points for that. It has to be good innovation. Meaning it's something that actually positively changes zombies. I don't think this map did that. I'm giving it a 0. Die Rise. Fukin Die Rise, man. Fukin Die Rise. I don't hate it as much as most people do. Is it replayable? Multiplayer map to zombies map. Yeah, but is that really a good innovation, though? I feel like that's just lazy. No, I'm kidding. I do like how it's Nuketown. Wait, you know what? Atmosphere, I'm going to give one more point. I forgot that it's goddamn Nuketown. Like, Atmosphere also is the location as to where it's at. That is a cool place to be fighting zombies in. Nuketown, I didn't think of that. But I wouldn't call that innovation, though. Die Rise, replayability. I do like, there's a lot of different places to train on Die Rise, like a lot. There's a lot of places you could do shit in, which definitely increases the replayability. Easter egg's not replayable, so that's not really a plus. Dude, my chair keeps rocking, Matt. I was telling you that before. Fucking chair keeps rocking. More replayable than Nuketown in Town, though, I feel like. More replayable than... I'm gonna give it a 12. Die Rise isn't as bad as most people say, I think. Items. Slick of Fire is fucking awesome. And I love the Black Ops 2 guns. I do. I do. And Slick of Fire is so freaking cool. What other items do you have, though? Buildables, you have the what's it called? Trample Steam, which was kind of cool. I'm giving that a 16. I'm sorry. I'm giving items a 16. Map design, though. 5. You know why? On one side, it's a really cool thing. You got 3 different buildings, right? And you could go to them. One of them's upside down. And then one of them you go on the rooftop. One of them, it's cool. But the ways to get from each location is stupid. You have to wait for the damn elevators. Like, no. It slows down the pace of the game. It makes it obnoxious when the elevators don't come to you. Darius perks are annoying. Yeah, because you don't know where they are and they're random locations. And you gotta wait for them. That's annoying. But the map design, it would be better if there was easier ways to get around the map. 9 for innovation. I don't think it innovated that much. Like, what did it really innovate past transit, you know? And innovation, I'm not just giving points for innovation just for new things, you know? Every map has new things, but I'm trying to think, what did it really innovate in? I don't think it did. Bosses. Now, bosses. A 7. Those jumping jacks are dope. You get free perks from them. Honestly, I want to give it a higher. I want to give it an 8 for that. They're a cool boss zombie. Easter egg. Easter egg is shit! Let me give it a 1. You know what? I want to give it a 0. No, I'll give it a 1. I'll give it a 1. It's a shit Easter egg. I'm sorry. New perk. Yeah, but that's not a 9. No, I'm going to give it a 9 for a freaking new perk that's not even good. Story. Another Victus map. It's going to get the same as Transit. I don't think the story is that much more interesting than Transit, so. Atmosphere. Kind of dope. Kind of dope, actually. I kind of like the atmosphere. The vibes you get, those weird noises you hear throughout the map. That weird, like, eeriness. I like it. 7. 7. Gonna get a 7. Innovation. What did Die Rise innovate? Trample Steam wasn't really innovative, I don't think. An upside down mystery box? Die Rise would have been an all-time great if perk locations were less aids. I agree. Unique one weapon was awesome. Honestly, I'm gonna give bosses a 10. I keep thinking about the jumping jacks. I love how those things are designed. I really do. I'm gonna give innovation. I think I might just give it a big fat 0. Like, it didn't really innovate, to be honest. I really like this. I really like that we're doing this because it's really helping my map ranking. Because otherwise, I was really gonna sit down and just rank them out myself. When you do that, nostalgia gets put into it, bias gets put into it. This makes it so it's the least amount of bias as possible. I'm just putting the numbers out, and whatever's there is what should be there. I did not think I liked Shinonuma that much, but based on that, hell yeah, I like Shinonuma that much, I guess. I didn't think I would, but I guess so. I didn't think I hated Kino that much. Well, to be fair, it's not that low, but This is helping me out a lot. It's this. Mob of the Dead! We are on Mob of the freaking Dead. Replayability. The beginning of it is a little tedious, which brings the replayability down a little bit, because there are a lot of times where I don't really want to play because I know it's going to take me like 20 to 30 minutes to just get Pack-a-Punch open. Been saying it, yeah. It's not the best map though, it's just better than I remember it being, but that's besides the point. Mob of the Dead, replayability. Took me 135 spins to get the ray gun. Jesus! Oh, innovation? Yeah, you're right, 10. I agree, 10. The first time we had a map that felt like a goddamn movie. This map feels like a goddamn movie. Story, I'm going to give a 9. And the reason why I'm not going to give it a 10 is because it's a great story, but the connection to the original story felt so off to me. It is connected, it is, but not till later on. It felt out of place in the story where it was put. It felt like a spin-off almost, but it was still a great story. It loses 1 point for that. Atmosphere is a 10 out of 10. Like, come on, the soundtracks. It's the first map to have, like, in-game soundtracks, like, that are playing while you're going different locations. Different round-changing music for the first time. It feels, like, scary. You're in a freaking prison. Alcatraz is... I fucking love it. Easter egg. This is where the map gets brought down a little bit. I do not like the Easter egg. I don't. The ending is pretty cool, though. How you can, like, fight against Arlington. You're playing multiple players, obviously, and you gotta like shoot each other. That's kind of cool. So it's gonna get 5 for that. I'll give it 5. It's cool because of that part, but the Easter egg itself is kind of boring. Let's be real here. Bosses, we got Brutus. Is that it? I'm pretty sure it's just Brutus, right? But Brutus is a cool boss. He's a cool boss. He's gonna get 8. He's gonna get straight up 10. I'm sorry. No, 9. Map design. Okay, map design. You start off in one place. 0. I'm giving it 5 just because that ending. And there are some points. The story surrounding the Easter egg is pretty cool. I gotta say, I wouldn't give it a 0, but it's definitely not anything special.
It's YouTube Music. Download the app today. And get a trial of music
map
premium
design. So you
on
start
us.
in the one place.
Restrictions apply.
You get to go all the way around. You get to go all the way the right way, and then you go. It's a pretty awesome map design. Just thinking about it in my head. It's a big ass map too. I love the what's it called? What is that thingy? The gondola? The gondola? It's gonna get a 9 for map design. It's a solid map design. Items. This is like the wonder weapons. The Blunder Gat, which you can turn the Acid Gat, which is so freaking cool. Hellas Retriever. They introduced Electric Cherry, one of my all-time favorite perks at least. Cool design for a perk. Who's Snapchatting me? Cool ass perk. Yeah, items. And then you got Black Ops 2. They introduced all sorts of new guns too that weren't even in the original. AK-47, the Death Machine. They brought there's a couple new ones. The Tommy gun. Should have played every map then ranked it. I've been playing the maps a lot recently, so they're in my head, but I'm not playing them on stream. That would take 4,000 years, dude. Play every map in one stream, I would actually die. Unless we just played around 1. If we played any more than that, it would take forever. Items. I'm gonna give it a freaking 19. It's nearly perfect. Actually, I'm gonna give it perfect. Why would I not give it a perfect score? It is. Replayability. The Easter egg not being great. Easter egg not being replayable kind of ruins it a little bit. But it's still got a lot of things to do. You can go for the Golden Spork. You could go for the what's it called? You know what? Honestly, 19. The Golden Spork. You can go for that. You can go for the Hell's Redeemer. There's a lot of stuff to do. Yeah, the other only map that has a physical Electric Cherry. Hope we get that back in DO5. So yeah, 91 score. That's the highest we got so far, which makes perfect sense. So let's move on to Buried. Buried replayability, honestly, is pretty high. I love Buried. It's got a lot of shit to do on it as well. There's a lot of... I'm gonna go from backwards. Innovation. Did it innovate though? It had an Easter egg with 2 different endings. Well, so did Mob of the Dead though, right? Kind of, sort of. You had... I don't know, it didn't really innovate that much. Oh, a couple new perks. I don't think it innovated that much more than that, though. Not really. Innovation 1000. I'm trying to think of what it innovated. I don't really think it did. The Multi-Raid was a great perk, but that's not going innovation, really. That's gonna more so go in... Well, yeah, I guess it'll go in innovation. It's a cool perk, but... we'll start with replayability. I think it's got high replayability. I'm gonna put 17. I know it's 16. The lack of a great solo-friendly Easter egg kind of brings it down for me. Items, the candy was cool. Candy was cool. Oh, Leroy. Leroy was cool. The items, we got the Paralyzer. Ray Gun Mark II was added for the first time. Vulture Aid. The guns, they had some pretty interesting guns. It's not as good as Mob of the Dead's selection, but it's still great. You have the Time Bomb as well. It's going to be high. It's going to be high, 18. Map design. I don't like the map design that much. I love the location. The location's awesome. That's an atmosphere. The map design, though, I'm not a huge fan of it. Honestly, I'm gonna give it I might give it like a 5. Because think of the map design, right? You drop down. There's so many confusing tunnels around it that you never even go to. There's like little places on the map you never even go to. You're always in that one area in the front. You don't have to buy a door to get to half of the map. It's different for sure, but I'm not a big fan of that design. And then to enter most buildings, you need to use Leroy, and then there's not many doors other than that. It's a weird map design, and I'm not a big fan of it. Can't even track the idea of goblins. Probably freaking Lee. Bosses, you got the damn witches. And the witches are pretty awesome. Atmosphere 9 out of 10. Bruh, 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10? Bro, I'm gonna go with a freaking 10 out of 10 on that shit. I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10. I can't give it anything else than that, honestly. I love the Western feel to it. I love the music. I just love that. Story, it was another Victus map, but it was a little bit better than the last one. Just a little tiny bit better, so I'll give it a 6. I didn't really care too much for the story in the Victus like arc, I guess you would say. I wasn't crazy about it. The Easter egg, it's not solo friendly, which bothers me. It's really difficult. It's not that fun either, I'm gonna be honest. It's better than Mob of the Dead's Easter egg, but it's not that great. I gotta be honest. Bosses, you got the witches. Give you free perks. Free perks. And they look cool, and they're scary. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 boss. Innovation. Does this map really innovate? Leroy was innovative, I think. That was very different. That was very unique. But what else? I'm gonna give it one more point for map design because I just thought of the maze. The maze is part of the map, and that's so cool. The maze is so cool. It gets 1 point for the maze. It really does. Let me say 9 10 because it's not mob level. That is true. I guess, like, honestly, because it's just at a 10. You know, if I was going like I don't want to make it too confusing, but honestly, I'd probably put mob like 10, buried probably like 9.8 or something, you know what I mean? But like, I don't want to, like, it's definitely not mob level, but I don't want to go that specific with like the point values and shit. So Time Bomb was pretty innovative. What's the first map with the Easter egg boss? Like a boss fight? I believe if you count just Treyarch, it's technically Shadows of Evil. But if you don't count just Treyarch and you count all the developers, it's Descent from Exo Zombies. So yeah, that's Descent. The first real good one, though, I'd say is Der Eisendrache. That's the first one to actually be like a good, fully fledged boss zombie or boss fight Easter egg. Oh, dude, that's perfect. You hear the Easter egg song right now? The fucking Buried song's playing. I love this song. Hold up, I gotta jam out to it for a second. I gotta jam out to it. Oh my god, this song is literally one of my favorite Easter egg songs ever. It's so good. It's so good. The Rega Mark II, that is true. That is innovative. I didn't think of that. That's like in almost every map now, like most maps. I fucking love this song, but I don't listen to it all the time. I don't want to be here forever. Okay. Innovation, honestly, now that you guys are telling me all this stuff, best Easter egg song, honestly, yes, one of the best. I'm gonna give it an I didn't think about the innovation, I really didn't. I didn't think how different and unique this map was. It's very different. I'm gonna give it an 8. I'm gonna give it an 8. It's very different. So that gives Buried an 80, which, that makes sense. If I was to rank all the maps here, yeah, Buried, Mob, yeah, there's a top 2, for sure. I would say that 100%. Origins! Origins, replayability. This is biased. This is a little biased, but I never get bored of this damn map. It's 20 out of 20 for replayability. I can play this map every fucking day. Items, you have the staffs. You have the MG08, the Scorpion Evo. All the other BO2 guns. You have the, what's it called? The little drone strike thing. You have the Thunder Punch. It's a 20 out of 20 there. I can't give it anything else. Map design. It's kind of like Dori's in a way, but not really. But it's a good map design. 10 out of 10. I'm sorry, 10 out of 10. I'm doing it. I think, okay, maybe that's a little biased actually. I'm being biased here. Let me think for a second. Is the map design actually a 10 out of 10? The mud. But the mud, I don't think it's that big of a deal though. People complain about the mud. BO3 mud sucks. BO2 mud is easy to deal with. Easy to deal with. Map design. Out of 10. Is it a perfect map design? The way it's set up with the different generators, I really like. The crazy place, it can be kind of annoying going from place to place. Huh. For you, become now. I'm sorry, I'm just singing great songs. Map design, is it perfect though? No, it's not. It is a little too big at some points. There should be better transportation methods other than just a tank. Okay. Bosses. Panzer is awesome. Panzer's awesome. But the Templar zombies are annoying and frustrating when they shut off the freaking generators, so it's losing 2 points because of those things. They're doable, but it's losing 2 points because of it. Easter egg, I agree with you, Michael. I think it's a 7. I don't think it's that great, but it's pretty great. It's pretty good compared to the other Easter eggs that we've had. Like, if you compare it to the rest of these, it's pretty high. Obviously, Shuna was only a 10 because the maps that didn't have Easter eggs for them. I just counted how fun they are for high rounds because I don't really know how else to do that. Because if they don't have an Easter egg, what am I going to do? Give it a 0? It's not fair to give it a 0 if they don't have an Easter egg, I think, at least. But 7 sounds good for the Easter egg. Story. Frickin' premise is awesome. The cutscene is awesome. I didn't like it at first, but after looking back after BO3, seeing what the map meant for the story, wow. Frickin' wow. It's a atmosphere is also a 10 out of 10. Let's be real here. The thing is with atmosphere, I'm really afraid of how this is gonna go, but I think every map, like most of the maps downwards, might be like 9, 8, or 10 out of 10 because atmospheres have gotten better and better and better over time, man. They've really gotten better. Innovation, called that is better than Buried in my opinion. Personally, I don't know. I think Buried's solid. Call of Dead, what is that? 73? Yeah, it's kind of close. 73, 80. Okay, so Origins, Innovation. Let's see. First map with 4 wonder weapons, like the elemental stuff, which I think is the best system of wonder weapons they can do. First map with a cutscene. Piggybacking off of Mob of the Dead's amazing success. A lot of shit to do with like the dig spots and stuff like that. A lot of interesting things added. The Thunder Punch. Just a lot of the awesome shit. Innovation, is it a 10 though? Is it a 10? It's a 10. It's a 10. Gotta be a 10. Well, there is World of War, Black Ops 1, and Black Ops 2 ranked. But, like I said, this is not going to be the full ranking in the end, probably, when I do the full video, because I feel like I might change this list around a little bit. I might replay some of the maps, and then I might look at this list and be like, you know what, that should change, or that should change. So I don't think this is set in stone for what my list is going to be. But I think this definitely helps me decide what the list will be. So I'm going to end it here because I don't want to be here all night. I'm kind of tired, but we went on for like 2 hours, 10 minutes. Longer than I thought we would. Tomorrow, I don't know what time. Maybe just check out my Twitter. I'll probably say what time. Or just have my notifications on or whatever. Sometime tomorrow, whether it be earlier in the day, later in the day, I don't know. We're going to do the rest of it. We're going to try to get the rest of it done in one stream. I'm not going to cut it up. We have Exo Zombies to do. We have Black Ops 3. We have Infinite Warfare. We have World War 2. And then we have Black Ops 4. So it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see where they all line up in the end. I really don't know. I'm going to need your guys' help on some of these maps. I might do some research tonight because I know most of all the maps except for some of the World War II maps. Be honest, I didn't give World War II much of a chance. I didn't hate it, but like I didn't play it nearly as much as some of the other Zombies maps. So maps like the Shadow, like the Darkest Shore, like the story, I'm gonna be very like I don't remember anything about the story, to be honest. I'm gonna research the story a little bit, maybe look into some Easter egg type things. I've done most of the Easter eggs here, but I just don't know much of the lore behind it or the story, so I can't rank it if I don't know the story. You know what I mean? So I want to do my research so I can kind of know the story and then learn them a little bit. So we'll see. As you can see, I did count the Tortured Path maps as their own 3. Most people don't, but I do. I don't think that they should be counted as one thing. People just count the Tortured Path as one. They're very different maps, honestly. So I consider them their own things. And we have Grossen House. The Giant is being counted as well, like I said. And yeah, we'll go check out the rest tomorrow. And yeah, thank you all for tuning in. Alpha Omega Innovation 0. Honestly, you might be right. I'm trying to think. What did it innovate? We'll get to that tomorrow. I'm not gonna think of that right now, but it might have done something that I'm not thinking of right now. But it could very well be 0 for innovation. That's a possibility. Can you change the title for the? No, you can't. Okay, whatever. Thank you all for tuning in. See you, Ranch King. See you, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Peace out.